Go.
Hey.
Hi.
Happy Monday, people. It's already Monday. I don't know. The weekend flew by.
It did.
Seriously, I'm it's Monday already. I have to come to work. But the good thing is I like to come to work. And I get to see this gal this morning. And I think most of you know who is sitting next to me. If not, I know I do have some followers from out of town. This is Bonnie Maley. And you know what? I've been calling you Bonnie Nelson lately. And I'm I don't know why.
I answer to that too.
Well, see, she was a Nelson, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, it's weird. Bonnie Nelson.
On Facebook it says Bonnie Nelson.
Maybe that's why. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I asked Bonnie to join me this morning, and I did tell her what we're going to talk about. I said, we're just going to visit, and so that is who I have with me this morning. So I was telling these two just 2 seconds ago. I had this really cool thing happen to me this weekend. And Bonnie says, am I going to cry? I'm like, no, you're not going to cry. So she ran and got a Kleenex anyways. But anyways, Kevin and I were in Aberdeen. And we were shopping at Kessler's. And they had this wine tasting going on. So I'm like, oh, I'll go test some wine. Kevin, so we're standing there and I'm having a taste of wine. And there's this other couple there too. I have no idea who this couple is. And she says to me, you're the gal on JQ website, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she said, I feel like I should get your autograph. And I'm like, no autograph. And she says, keep doing what you're doing. And then there goes my husband, because he's so emotional. There he is crying, because that's how he is. But I just thought, wow, you know what? So we are reaching people.
Yes.
And so this is why I continue what I'm doing. And just to, like I said, you know what? Even over the weekend, this crazy world, we have so many awful things going on with the war and everything. We just have to continue to pray and to wrap your hands or your arms around people and give them hugs. And I mean, it's a scary time right now.
It is.
Very scary.
Very scary. We have no idea.
No, we don't. We have none. And the first thing I came in this morning, Joyce and I started talking about it. Yes, Joyce is back. I'm so excited. She's been in Arizona for a month. I'm so excited to have her back. So anyways, but you know what? It's sad because that was the first thing we were talking about. And, when I was in church yesterday too, we were talking about that too. And we just have to continue to pray for those people. And somehow we have to find peace. And so, first of all, I got to get this story going here.
Okay.
Because we could probably sit here for a long time and talk.
We know that.
So, first of all, I'm going to share my devotion with you all this morning. Again, it's from my devotion book that I'm using right now, 365 Devotions to Remembrance, What Matters Most. And for today it says, good morning. Every day has a genesis. The sun rises, the world awakens, and you remember the hope you had just 24 hours before. It's a new day again. Yesterday was a disaster. You made a monumental mistake. You made someone so angry, you were sure she was done with you. You felt so depressed that you could barely breathe. But that day is behind you. Time marches on, and that's a good thing. You failed. Pick yourself up and get back on the horse. You made progress on some goal. It's time to make even more progress. You went to bed exhausted. The night's sleep has refilled your tank for today's challenges. Morning is a time when you isn't so bad. Your thoughts can be renewed, and what you do is full of hope and expectation. Don't be alarmed by the clock when you wake. It's time to begin again. And isn't that the truth? You know what? When we have bad days, you just think it's going to be a bad day forever. And we just have to turn the page, and tomorrow's a new day.
Yes, it is. But sometimes it's hard to let go.
I know.
And I wish people that say that, just let go of it. But there's some of us that keep it. inside, and we don't know how to let go.
And that's, you know what, and that's what's scary, Bonnie. You know, like me and you, Bonnie and I are a lot alike. And, you know, we can talk to anybody, you know, somebody, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
I've been known to talk to just anybody.
Yeah, and sometimes, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but sometimes I'm like, I ask a lot of questions, and sometimes I'm like, but you know, people love, like when they come in here, people like to visit.
Exactly.
And they like to tell you if they're having a bad day. You know, and we need to listen. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. I spent 40-some years listening at the beauty shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Yes.
You hear everything, but you become such good friends, and you know just about everything about them. And of course, I would tell them everything about me.
Well, and you know what? That's okay. And I always, you know, if they don't want to talk, and then it's funny because some don't want to talk. You know, they just want to be in here, and I'm sure you have that experience when they come and get their hair done. Some didn't want to talk, and that's fine. You know, I noticed Bree. She had this, Bree Zedeca. She had this post on her Facebook, and it said, "It's okay if you don't want to talk. You know, it's a time for somebody maybe to just mellow and enjoy their time in the chair, and it's okay to, you know, to be quiet."
Exactly.
But today, I want to touch on human kindness.
Okay.
And so, human kindness is a big word. And so, when I looked it up in the dictionary, it said, human kindness is the quality or state of being kind and treating people with kindness and respect. And it also is a kind deed or a favor. And you know what? That is something that reminds me of you. You have that human kindness. You really do. And you know what? It's taking care of people that you don't even know and doing a deed for them and just making them feel important. And you love to do that. And I do too. And I do too. I'd rather make somebody else happy or give somebody else something than me. So can you think of something that you did for somebody that really, like,
oh dear,
changed their life?
I just, you got me caught off guard.
No,
here.
that's okay.
Well, one time someone asked me to go and take pictures. That's what I love to take pictures of their mom and dad for their, I think it was their 60th or even 70th wedding anniversary. So I have a lot of fun things in my suitcases and hats and furs and neckties, and anyway, I went out there, and she was in failing health, and he was a caretaker, and he had on his bib overalls, which he wore always, and I put a derby hat on him, and I put a little hat on her, and it was one of the most beautiful, touching pictures, and it just showed something completely opposite of what they were used to, but it was so sweet, so sweet.
And it made you feel good also.
Really good, really good.
You know, and I think that's the type of person that you are and that I want to be. You know, I want to make people feel better. You know, that has been my whole, you know, thing, is making people feel better.
Exactly.
You know, and if you can see my ring. So Bonnie, you know, when I talk to her, she's always trying to get rid of things at her house. Sometimes it's not the easiest, whatever. But she gave me this beautiful card and this beautiful ring last week, which I absolutely, absolutely love. And she gave Jessica a really beautiful, beautiful jewelry. But, you know, back to human kindness. You know, I think every day, I told Jess and Lacey, I actually left some cards on Lacey's desk. I said, you know what, just send a card once a week or once a day to somebody to give them a smile. And it does. It makes a big difference.
It does. It does. And I've said that to my children too. The best thing you can give your parents are words.
Yes.
And not from the mouth, but from the heart. Write them down. I failed to get those letters, kids.
Yeah, right?
Write me a letter.
No, I do
it's
know
true.
that. I know.
And people will say, how do you know what to say? And I says, you just reach into your heart. And it comes very easy. And it's what you would love to hear, but you got to share it with others.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? Visiting with my mom and like with her grandchildren, she's like, if they would just send a text,
Yes.
or pick up the phone and call. It's really simple. It really is. Like Kevin is always saying, simple. We need to be simple. And isn't that the truth?
It is.
We just, a simple life, just do simple things. It's really easy. Actually, just to sit down and write a letter, put it in an envelope and put a stamp on it and mail it, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. It's very easy.
So, like, talk about your popcorn.
The
Because,
popcorn,
like-
you know how it started?
Because, like, why didn't you bring popcorn today?
I know. Why didn't I?
No, she's going to make an almond cake this afternoon, so.
Well, the popcorn started many years ago when we'd take our kids on Halloween, and there was a lady in Verona that always had the best popcorn balls, and we knew it, but we'd go to her house right away, but we would take the popcorn balls from our kids because we wanted them. So fast forward, Cheryl Holken gave me a recipe for this popcorn, and I started making it, and I started sharing it on Halloween. Well, pretty soon, the next Halloween, the parents would come and say, can we have a bag of popcorn too? So I would make popcorn for the little kids, and I'd make a big bag for the mom and dad, because I knew if I didn't give them, the parents, some, they would take those little kids as popcorn. Like we
Isn't
did
that
our
the
kids.
truth?
That
Yes.
we did to our
Uh-huh.
kids.
Mhm.
So now I do probably 3 garbage bags full of popcorn, but I don't pop the popcorn. I get it from the show hall. I have it already made up, and it can be expensive, but it saves so much work. And I whip up that popcorn, and I go through I probably get close to 200 bags.
Oh my gosh, but you don't always do it on Halloween, though.
No, I started doing it at Christmas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I'm sorry, now people are going to call you and text you and want popcorn.
Although one time they asked at church for donations for something, so I gave popcorn, and one bag went for $50.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that
Yeah.
awesome? No, and I just think, just popcorn, really. Like this morning, Jossie, she loves Special K bars.
Oh,
Did you see them back there?
I have.
I even got some for you guys. But I know she's gonna be gone for a few days, so I'm like, so I made her this thing of Special K bars, and it's just like I said, just the little things of back to human kindness, and I think we need to all remember human kindness, and you're doing an amazing job. You are. Our community is so lucky to have you. I mean, really, you think about all the people that you know and that you have helped along the way, and anybody you talk to, you're a pretty special person to them. And so that's why I asked her to come with today, just because she knows how, and she spreads that kindness so wonderful. And I know she'll keep continuing to do that. I actually asked her if she would come in and take some pictures of me, got to take some pictures with some clothes, and she's like, well, absolutely, but she has to check her schedule. But anyways, but no, I just think, if you got great kids too, and I just think if we can teach our kids, our grandkids, to keep spreading that kindness, the world will get a better, we'll get there.
Oh,
We're going to get there. Don't you think?
Yes. I just want to say one thing is a lot of people, along the way, people get sick. And it's hard for some people to go up and say, I've heard you have cancer. Is there anything you need? Is there anything? And then, is there anything you need? Don't just say, is there anything you need? Just do it.
Isn't that the truth?
Just go and make them a
Whatever.
Well, I wouldn't make them a pie because I can't make pies. I'd make them some soup or some bread or something. But, it's just they need... Nobody's going to call you and say, would you bring me something?
No, that is very true. Isn't that the truth?
And you see that all the time. Is there anything you need? Yeah, there's a lot I need. But I'm not going to ask you to bring it.
Yes. Isn't that the truth? Just do it.
Yeah, but the trouble with me is when I take something, I never leave. One time I went out to Chuck Roney's it was his 80th birthday, and I forgot to send him a card, so I made him popcorn and probably everything he shouldn't have had.
Oh well.
I spent 2.5 hours out there visiting with him.
Hey,
it was the best visit.
Isn't that awesome? Oh,
Yeah.
I hope Jill is watching because for the last 3 years I would go pick rhubarb.
Oh.
And so last year, we sat and we talked and we talked and we talked. And it was like awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his beautiful backyard. And it was awesome just to sit there. But isn't that the truth though? And to visit with people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we don't have time, especially working people. And that, then when you had a family, it's like you work and then you got to go home and da-da-da. But you know what? Even just, just a short visit with, somebody that maybe needs something. And I'm going to put a plug out there because for the last year I've been helping with senior meals, delivering senior meals. I try to do it once or twice a month. And, sometimes those people, we are the only ones that they see.
Yeah.
And so if you ever, if you want to spread that human kindness, it's a huge thing. Just to volunteer your time, it takes a half an hour, 40 minutes, and just to see those smiles on their faces, when somebody brings them the meal, it makes me feel good, and I know it makes the other volunteers feel good too. So, on that note, I think we just need to continue to do what we continue to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Another time we're going to come back and talk about Glammy Grannies.
Yes, okay. Absolutely. Let's do that.
And I'll gather some pictures because I do have to get permission from people to show these pictures.
Yes, but people are going to want you to do those pictures again.
I know. I've been asked this year. When it was COVID, I had to stop, and then I've been getting calls again.
And it's hard to say no with something like that.
Oh, that is the most rewarding thing ever.
Well, absolutely. And I just think when you shot pictures of our family when we stayed,
yes.
Those pictures that came up, and it's like, that was just the most wonderful time with my whole family taking pictures of that,
But you can have the plain old portrait pictures.
Yeah, but the fun ones.
The fun ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need her to do. We could have her do some fun ones of us. That'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. So, couple things this week. Number one, back to Live Fearless book. If you know junior high school gal in Oaks, make sure she comes and gets her book. I'm going to be starting on this in April. I'm going to start pulling this book apart, and everybody's going to love it. And but we really want to get these in the hands of 7th through 12th grade girls in Oaks. Some very awesome people paid for these books. Plug out to Dave Bergman and Thrivent and Sweets and Stories. They are free. So, or if anybody, if you want to go and get this book, if you want to buy it, Heather has them at Sweets and Stories. She is awesome, Sadie Robertson. She has some other books out. And so I'm going to start doing that in April. This week, we have March Madness here. Sip and Shop. Already the end of April, end of March. Where did March go? 4 to 7. And Gabby from Frontier Meats is going to be here. So she's going to have some treats, her meat and cheese. So come on down, and I know if you're going to get ready for graduations and weddings, she's going to have some really cool meat and cheese here. And we're going to have all new spring things for you gals to see. And then on Friday, TJ will be having her live sale in Detroit Lakes. Her first live in Detroit Lakes.
Second live.
Second live. Oh yeah, second live. And that is at 6:30, and that's on Friday. So thank you, Bonnie. And just remember, you know what? Let's just keep spreading that human kindness. Everybody have a great week. TJ, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Bonnie. Give me a hug. Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks so much.